Hey everybody, how is your Dodge Caravan rear gate doing? Is it doing well like mine is? Opens right up as soon as you click the button until it gets to that one point at the top where suddenly, it falls back down, bounces around, and doesn't close properly. I'm not exactly sure how to fix it, but I've got a guess and I'm going to give it a try. Watch this. Okay, so after lots of YouTube watching, Googling around, I was pretty unsuccessful in figuring out what was going on until I finally came inside the van to take a look at it from this angle. So take a look as the van hatch goes up and then starts flopping back down again. What you'll see is the pin down here is not matching up properly with the closure. It's still trying to, but it just can't hit it right. So what in the world is causing this? Well, I've got a guess. Let's give it a try. So my first guess was, I wonder if someone who was driving this possibly hit something while the lid was up like that. I'm now going to use my rake to support it open so it doesn't keep flopping back like that. So I asked my wife, the last time you used this when it broke, did you by chance have the lid up and drive into something or hit a garage ceiling or a pavilion or something? And she said, no, it just made a noise and started flopping back down. I think she might have called me some bad words under her breath, but I didn't hear that. Hopefully she didn't. But so anyway, if that's the case, if it just suddenly broke out of midair, it must be something with one of these parts. The first thing I just did, just to double check, was I looked up here to make sure these hinges up here look okay, to make sure it looks like that all the mechanisms up there are aligned, and they do seem to be when I keep it propped open. So my guess is now that the problem are these supports here, these lifters. I'm guessing that one of them went out, and so as it's supporting the gate, that it's coming down kind of at a wonky angle, and that's what's throwing it a little bit off center and unable to close. So I'm going to replace those, give it a try, and let's see how it works. First thing I did, went to the auto parts store and grabbed two of these. I went ahead and got a left and a right. Make sure you get one of each size. They were about 50 bucks each, so this is going to cost you about $115 after tax and everything else. But make sure you get a left and a right. The nice thing is they're super easy to replace, so we're going to go through that now. It's going to be real easy for you. You can save some money on labor by doing this yourself. Okay, first things first, we have to take off the old one. This is the motorized lifter that actually does the work. I'm hoping to leave that alone, that's not the problem. I think it's these hydraulic supports that are the problem. They come off with these easy little clips. So right in here, you'll see there's just a notch. I'm going to use a screwdriver to just reach in there, pop that out, and it's either going to come nicely or I'm going to get some needle nose pliers and just pull it the rest of the way off. But it was able to come with just the screwdriver, just lifting it off there. And there's one more clip up here at the top. So there we go. As we're looking for that, you can fit your screwdriver right in the little notch there underneath or up above and just pop off this band that holds the arm on there. So there I've got the band just popped off, just a little piece of metal there, and set that down. And now from there, it's super easy. Now just remember, you gotta have a rake or something to hold this thing up or it's gonna come crashing down on you. But from there, we're just gonna pull this out. It's just a ball and socket. It's just this easy, as I was saying. Let's try the lower one first. Maybe that'll be easier. So I'm gonna just pull it out. Oh, there it went. Got the whole thing all at once. So as you can see, it's just a ball and socket up here. And that just comes out of there. And this one came out of here at the bottom. And so that's how it comes out, and it's just as easy to put back on, at least I hope. So there's another one on that side. I'm gonna do that off camera, and then we'll put the new one back. Okay, so putting on the new one, I just snapped that in there. You don't actually have to take that band all the way off. You can just loosen it up a little, pull it out, pop that over the ball and then snap it back in. So the bottom half is on. I have to get the top on now. So here we go, and it's not lining up. So you might try to like squeeze this back together. That's gonna be really hard and probably not work. So what you have to do, and this is where it gets a little tricky, is I need to lift the gate up a little higher. So my rake isn't quite long enough. So I'm going to, I had to get a helper to hold it so we can get to the right height here. So what I'm gonna do now is get my screwdriver and pop out that band just a little bit from the bottom. I'm gonna pull it out enough that it's not catching. Then we're gonna lower that lid just a little bit, lower the gate until it fits. As soon as it fits, I'm gonna pop it in there, get that band so it's snug and tight. It's not coming off. Everything's good now. Again, we just pop that band out and then pop it back in to grab on and hold on to that ball. All right, one down. Okay, so next, off camera, I went ahead and attached the other side. So again, those bands, the purpose of those bands that hold it on there, right there, is just so that when the ball goes into the socket, that band then just clamps down into there and is actually what's kind of holding onto the ball there. So this is nice and secure here at this one. I've also got it nice and secure down here. Again, if it doesn't match up for you, just lift the gate a little higher, a little lower, until this matches up and so that you can get that nice fit there. All right, and as soon as we've done that, we should be good to go. Let's see if it works. I'm gonna go ahead and double click to close the rear gate. You notice it's staying up nice and strong. No more of that wobbly crashing, and a nice perfect fit. All right. Hey, one other thing, there was a super helpful video on YouTube, so I'm not going to remake that. But there's also some electronics that are involved with this. Once you get down to the closure, and this piece here, up in the rear gate, this piece can be a little bit tricky. So if your gate broke at the wrong time, this piece might be out of sync with the open and closed position. So there are some nice videos, at least there was one really good one, you'll be able to find it, had a lot of views, where they will show you how to reset this if you need to. So try it without that first. Another thing you can do is actually grab the handle there. If you grab the handle as you're opening and closing it, sometimes that will help reset the mechanics here also. So this mechanism might give you a little bit of trouble, but there's a way to reset it. Just follow some of those guides on YouTube. But if you do all of that and it doesn't work like I did at first, then you may realize it's not lining up with your closure. And if that's the case, then you may need to get some new hydraulic supports here. And it seems to have worked just fine for me. Let's just take a look at the original ones. You can see this one had a lot of gunk on it. So I have a feeling that hydraulic support did not work. I have a feeling something broke inside of there, and that's what was causing my problems. One other thing, notice there is a left and a right. You've got your left and your right. So make sure before you start this project, you do take some pictures up here. Make sure you see what it looks like so you make sure you know which one to put it on. My arms, my new arms, were not labeled left and right. So as long as you get them facing the right direction, you're gonna be okay. Or you can use that picture right there to figure out what it should look like. Okay, hey, thanks for watching. I hope this helps. Good luck, because it sure was a pain, but I have a feeling I just fixed a problem for about $115 that would have probably cost $200 or more at the dealership with labor. So good luck, hope that helps, and I hope your van is rocking and rolling.